Seguinte, pessoal, a gente vai estar acompanhando o nosso representante brasileiro, Loris versus Monier. Um grande pro player aí também, tá? Acho que tá mais acostumado a ver ele de Teros, né, Monier? Mas ele tá trazendo Mordex. O narrador acabou de falar sobre do Teros dele. Enfim, lembrando que se você é criador de conteúdo de Brawlhalla ou você tem algum amigo, avisa ele, tá? Que eu criei uma org pros criadores de conteúdo brasileiros de Brawlhalla, tá? É uma org pra juntar os criadores de conteúdo e todo mundo crescer junto, beleza? Então não se esquece de dar uma olhadinha no comentário fixado, avisar seu amigo, tá bom? E se você quiser receber aula é só você se tornar membro, tá bom? É nóis. E assim, muita gente talvez não se acostumou ainda, mas Loris sempre trazia Kaia, né? Mas já tem um tempo já que ele tá trazendo Dusk, não 1v1. Aí na 2v2 ainda tem Kaia, não sei se ele não testou Dusk no 2v2 ainda, ou se ele prefere ficar de Kaia, como é que tá sendo. Mas Kaia é muito forte na 2v2, né? Enfim, aí tá tendo o combo de Teros e Kaia, né? Aí pra ajudar, o pick tá se popularizando, assim, tipo, com uma comp, sabe? Tipo, Teros e Kaia juntos, eles funcionam muito bem. Enfim.
Went for the weapon throw instead, did not get caught by that move. If Munir spiked him into the stage, I think it would have just been it for the stock, because I don't think you go for the active input backwards in that situation.
Yeah, it felt like there was medium risk there from Munir. I don't think he was in danger of losing the stock given how little damage was on his stock, and Loras was at the weapon disadvantage, so going for that was like medium risk, massive reward.
Sidelight coming out from Lores, and light connects from Munir, dash jumping around. Let's see if we can get the edge guard here. No goes for the downlight, and Lores is in the sider. They're just exchanging.
Ou essa sig é bem interessante. As sigs do Dusk, no geral, principalmente de Spear, né? Cara, são muito difíceis de punir, muito. Ele se recupera muito rápido.
Being like, I can play even faster. This has been incredible. Look at that, the wake up on the Nair, stopping the double sidelight. Dodge gone, immediately goes up for the Nair, weapon throw Nair.
And even the delayed pickup, just in case he wanted to go back in unarmed against Munir. There's the in-light sending Lores over to the right side. He doesn't have a weapon. Munir disarms himself, throwing low. Neutral air, he lands, shuffles out the weapons.
Munir still playing like he's on his first stock, but he is slowly losing the lead there. Unarmed recovery hitting twice. Weapon throw does not combo into anything. And D-light recovery from Lores almost will secure game one, definitely. Spear picked up, that gets the recovery. That's going to be a 2.
He's not able to sustain it throughout the set.
Já trocou de lane, já.
Okay, Munir went Teros. I think that's fine.
Look
Look at the nairs. You're saying, oh, but he just nared him 3 times and almost hit Etsy. Look at Munir go! Get the ground pound.
Eu tô ligado que o Teros dele é doido, viu? É interessante.
Neutral after whiffing the down air.
I mean, Munir's playing so fast right now that I feel like that makes Teros even scarier, but Lores has been able to match every single time. Stop Cider since Lores flying, but if it's not enough, that means Lores can come back and steal the stock. That Stop Cider will do it. Quick 25-second stock from Munir here in game number 2.
There was the option for Lores to go back down over to the wall after that weapon spawn went high. That was kind of covering his high recovery options. He didn't go down, so he just went straight through the middle, back onto the corner, almost reached up with that.
There comes through, like the option for the side sig there, but not going to quite hit. D-Light into recovery, not going to knock out either. Another recovery could possibly do it. Side Light goes in for the dash jump recovery. And the gravity cancel down heavy. Just non-stop, doesn't matter if he's unarmed. He's going to keep applying the pressure, and Lores evens it up 2-2.
Yeah, and I think that's why we saw Lores going in for those signature options instead of going for the D-Light recovery, because we saw the D-Light recovery come out, and it wasn't enough. That's why he wants to get those hard-hitting Dusk Sigs that everybody talks about when they mention this legend. Great down air. There's a weapon toss up. Lores almost got in there perfect, but that weapon toss is going to save Munir.
Dash jump. Dash forward, D-Light side air. Recovery! And the gravity cancel stops there. Munir deletes the second stock from Lores. Gets ready to take another one here in game number 2.
Based on what we've seen, I don't think we should go back to this stage if you're Lores. If you're Munir, absolutely take this option. But if you're Lores, I think you should stay away from this. Give you something with a little bit bigger sidewall.
And you know what that means? We're going to go to Demon Island all 5 times. That's what, the fact that you acknowledge that at all means the players definitely have not. Gravity cancel and sink into the side of the stage. I think Lores was hoping that he was low enough.
Yeah.
That it would bounce off the slant on the bottom left side, but he still gets the edge guard, and just like that, he went up 1-1 once again. Lores' defense is so incredible. But Munir with the D-Light ground pound into recovery to be able to punish Lores slipping right past him. So much damage coming through here. Stomp Sair, one more Stomp Sair will give him the win. And that's the, I thought that was it, but he sidelighted it.
He picks up the goofy stomp, so it can be a little bit weird whether or not you're able to get the cider after that. Why he went for the sidelight?
Okay, goes over the hammer once again. Stomps around, keeping Lores denied. Lores finds a weapon. No, gets scooped instead. That's going to be the game going to Munir. It's 1-1.
Nice pick up
the,
there from
the Teros
Munir.
looks okay.
Absolutely.
You got to remember that and now her down 2 doesn't knock out super early.
He's going to stick with Dusk.
Laura has been prioritizing Dusk, and the Dusk looks great. So we're going to be going here into game number 3.
Yeah, I just don't know what other options he should really be going for as a Spear player out there, because you are going to take away some potency of KO potential if you're a Spear player. Like maybe the Brynn, like that's what Stingray has been doing in North America. But yeah, I definitely agree with the Dusk pick.
I think Orb's pretty great here, although we haven't really seen Orb at all in this set, right? Like, what was the Orb damage coming out from Lores last game?
The first KO is going to go to Munir on that one. The Orb damage was 69 Orb damage. So he's like hardly touching the weapon whatsoever. And that's a little bit of Lores here. That's like he's one of the best Spear players in the world. So he's going to stick on that weapon as much as he possibly can.
Munir up stock. Lores picks up the Orb and goes sliding right in, not being able to get the knockout there. Side sig not going to be able to knock out. Gravity cancel N-Sig, Munir playing a little safe. If Munir had a weapon, I'd say that N-Sig had a higher chance of hitting, but yeah, Lores just puts up the side sig and that's going to be it.
You're just going to run through like all of the signatures there real quick. You do the N-Sig, you do the side sig, you do the down sig.
And it's funny because like I feel like when Dusk came out, the signatures were the weaker side of like his kit in terms of perception of the character. And over time, I think people have understood how much utility they've got and how quick they are, right?
But especially on the Orb, we don't really talk about the Spear signatures as much. Like I was talking to Stingray about that a little bit earlier, is like they are not the most favorable signatures that he has. It's more the Orb signatures because they're so much quicker. Lores even baiting with one of the Spear
so quick on that stock too. Munir deleted Lores' first stock, and just like that with a Pogo Ser, Munir is out of his second stock there, and Lores continues to apply the pressure. Sidelight gets the jump read with the Nair, pokes him with the neutral light. At this point, I think down 6 could be pretty good, but he goes for a Pogo instead. Another Sider connects, goes for a down light on a jump read, and Lores went for the weapon toss into the pickup down light. Doesn't quite hit it, but he gets the weapon throw anyways. Now Munir off the right side of the stage. Orb on deck. No, Spear primed. You know that he's got that ready to go. And Munir cannot do anything in this game. Side sig was close to being able to knock out here for Lores, but he gets hit by a Sider instead.
Yeah, that was a good Sider from Munir. That's going to send Lores flying away from the weapon. Still without a weapon. There's the stomp side air, putting Lores on a final stock. He's going to have to wait just a little bit longer for the next weapon spawn to come in as Munir's doing the juggle.
Certainly going to stay with the hammer, though. I think he had like almost Oil's damage on the hammer last time, over 400 of it. Now neutral light coming through. Dash jump, pivot nair, gets in. Another hammer picked up.
Yeah, man, last game, Munir did 1 damage on Axe, so it was literally just a weapon toss in that
I mean, Lores is stuck on the Orb now, and he has only gotten hit by Stomp Airs and Dares. This is looking really bad. He should probably just throw it away, but no, he goes for the Sider instead. I mean, you've got Sidelight Sider there. Spear not as great as punishing the ground there. Hits the downlight into pick up onto the Spear. That nearly costs him. Munir now 1 neutral win away. Stomp doesn't hit the exhausted recovery. If that was a full recovery, I think he would have gotten clipped.
Yeah, he would have ended up moving over and drifting too far to the right and getting caught by it.
On arms.
It's just
a one-hit game for both players. Sidelight Sider here. Falling Sider would knock him out. Goes with the recovery. And Munir caught off guard. Lores with the win in game number 3. After a clean 2-stock to 1 lead. Munir going to be sticking with the Teros.
Mudou de skin. Brincadeira.
Opens up with the Axe, puts out a down sig, and Lores has whiffed a few follow-ups off the unarmed down light.
Definitely.
And is costing him some damage here. Now he opens up the Orb, gets the down light right after the end light. Great 4-hit combo. Let's see what else Lores is able to do here. Dash jumping around, looking for an opening in the side sig by holding the charge. Gets the hit. Sidelight into the side air. Okay, Lores might take his first Orb stock of the set. Ground pound here could knock out, but Munir is allowed to go back to the stage. Tries to get that max range down signature and disarms Munir from the Axe.
Yeah, it seems like he's definitely feeling more comfortable on the Orb. Even though last game, the grab, the rip out of the air, and the throw all the way from the middle of the stage, getting the KO with that. A huge lead, only 50 damage on the stock. But he even did less damage last game with Orb than he did the previous one. It was like 69 before. Last game was only 53, so still absolutely a Spear game, even though he hit that recovery at the end.
Love the call out there, too. The mental damage from getting hit by Sidelight, Chase Dodge, N-Sig's got to be so huge. Munir was going for like hammer ground pounds at like light yellow. Gets the side sig, though, and just like that, man, Teros hits.
Mano, por mais que, tipo, não esteja numa diferença absurda de estoque, a forma como o Lores está jogando parece impossível de ser counterada. Parece que ele tá brincando com o oponente, mano.
Lores not willing to risk the reversal game against the hammer there, hitting with those sideways moves. Side sig punished, doesn't get the double nair. Munir looking for the landing here with the neutral air of his own. No side air. Lores gets swamped. Okay, he was greedy.
Double.
Little greedy there. Ends up getting punished for it, but like the idea.
I think he expected Lores to like immediately throw out an attack after that, or something like slower than just like jumping really high or retreating, which is why he went for the double stomp.
Downlight pickup.
He does it so well.
And that's what he was going for previously.
Era isso que ele deveria ter feito quando na partida anterior, sabe? Que ele deu downlight e side light. Talvez ele queria dar downlight, né? Não sei.
Spear downlight recovery.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's just true off of unarmed downlight.
Yes, there's so much stun time on it. You have so much time to pick up that weapon. As long as you have the mental stack to be able to go through and go move by move very quickly, which Lores absolutely does. Like, I think you have plenty of time to pick up that weapon off of the high stun time from unarmed downlight.
Sider hits. Laura's off the left side of the stage. Moonir gets hit by the orb down air. Sidelight side air, that's a lot of damage. Laura does get caught by the N-Sig though, and Moonir goes all the way out for a grab. Cancel stumbling ground pound. Is that it? Weapon throw hits him. Can Laura's make it back? Touches and Moonir doesn't cover with the ground pound.
Por isso que eu sempre falo, mano.
Hit by the weapon throw. Moonir just
Meu Deus, meu Deus.
twice in a row. Laura is holding on. If Moonir still wins after all, this would be a miracle.
Gosh. Laura's back over.
Caraca, mano, o que foi isso? Meu Deus. GG, mano. Se inscreve no canal pra estar acompanhando mais partidas, tá? Um beijo. Tchau, tchau.